Now, so we're here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora and this video special with Charles Pride as well as Luke Sutherland, back-to-back Class AA state champions in New York, and obviously natives of Central New York. Charles playing for Liverpool and Luke playing for West Genesee. So a lot of history now on the same team for the Bryant Bulldogs. Gentlemen, how you doing today?
Good.
Good. How are you?
Doing very well. Charles, I want to start with you first. Just what you could tell me about your time at Liverpool and obviously the community of Central New York and what that means to you.
Everything, literally. The community of Central New York means everything. That's where I was brought up. That's where I have my best memories, my worst memories. I've learned everything in Syracuse. I've only been out of Syracuse for the past few years, and Syracuse is home, will always be home to me.
You know, and you, when I mean, you and I have never met face to face, but I've talked to Coach Blackwell about you a lot, and you know, just the talent that he had and who you were to the team, what you did for the team. It's an honor for me to finally be able to speak with you and to be able to get some FaceTime here. What did you appreciate about Liverpool specifically playing there?
I appreciated how they opened me with welcome arms. Like, I transferred in from Christian Brothers Academy, and it was a smooth transition in. The team welcomed me, the community welcomed me, and that just made everything much easier. Like, we kind of knew some of the core guys that would be on the team,
Yeah.
and Coach Blackwell did a very good job at teaching like a hard work ethic. So he instilled a hard work ethic in most of my teammates, and all we knew were to kill each other like every day in practice. And I think that really helped us have a successful year.
Luke, you and I have obviously spent a lot of time together. You know, when Corona and all this stuff kind of started, we were able to be in the same room at one point, and now we get to be on picture in picture together. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing well, man. I know that your trip through West Jenny went through Siena and to Bryant. In this very unique year, you'll have the opportunity to get out there. What does that mean to you that, you know, you're on this roster and you have, you know, you have a special opportunity because of the uniqueness of the NCAA and everything that's been going on?
I think I mean right now, I mean I'm just really excited to be able to play basketball. I mean we've gone a long time without having it, and you know, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. I mean we open up tomorrow, so I mean it's just I've been waiting a pretty long time for tomorrow. You know what I mean? So I mean that's kind of the biggest thing, and it's just there's no moment too big. You know what I mean? So right now, I mean it's just kind of stay focused and look forward into having a good game tomorrow.
West Genesee, you know, that championship run, you know, and having that and being back in the community for this game against Syracuse, just what that means to you to be back.
I mean, like kind of like Chuck said, I mean, we grew up there, and everything we know and learn has been from that area. So I mean, it's definitely really exciting to be able to get back out there Friday and play in front of the hometown.
Not only do both of you guys have a claim to Central New York, but you have a claim to the Class AA state championship, back-to-back Liverpool and West Genesee. Chuck, I'm going to go to you first. What is it like to not only have somebody from Central New York that you didn't get to play with in high school that's on your team here in college, but the fact that you have two state champions from the state of New York?
It's awesome. Like, well, Luke's my guy, so I've been good friends with Luke for a very long time, like before high school, and we also played on the same AAU program together. And like, we've always dreamed about playing with each other, always talked about it, and now we're finally able to do it. So now we're just very excited.
Luke, what about you to you know, have this back-to-back state championship run on the same team in college is a very unique story, and it's a really awesome or great representation for Central New York.
Like Chuck said, I mean, me and Charles have been around each other for forever for the most part. I mean, we've been playing with each other since we were little. So, and then even playing with AAU, this is something that we always talked about. Like we always wanted to end up playing at another level with each other. And it's really awesome to be able to come together in college and try to do something special.
So you guys are not only connected to Central New York, state champions, have the connection to Liverpool, have the connection to West Jenny, but now you're coming back to Syracuse to play inside of the Dome, albeit a unique year. This is a full circle story and a really cool story. So Luke, I want to start with you on this. You get to play the school that you grew up watching in the city that you grew up in, a few minutes away from the high school that you won a state championship at. How cool is that?
I mean, it's awesome. I mean, especially like, I mean, I was talking with Coach Kent the other day. It's just one of those things that like, it's hard to kind of visualize until it happens. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's going to be really awesome to be able to step out on the floor Friday and we're going to go out there, compete, and we're going to give it everything we have. And, you know, we're just going to execute. Hopefully, you know, it's going to be a memorable day for us.
Chuck, what about you? This full circle that you get to go back to the Dome, and you're doing it as a Bryant Bulldog now, playing up against Syracuse, and get to see the hometown, get that feel for all of that again, and, you know, have this very unique experience of playing inside of the Dome against the team that you obviously know very well.
You know, I'm very excited. As Luke had mentioned, we've had a lot of time off with Corona and stuff like that, so we're just very excited to get out there. And we've been working very hard for this. I'm pretty sure today our coach said we haven't played a game in over 200 days. So everyone's dying to get on the court. And for us to play Syracuse our second game means a lot.
Did Coach Blackwell give you any tips on how to beat the Orange?
No, Coach Blackwell wants them to win.
Chuck, I got to ask you, what are first and foremost, were you an integral part of trying to recruit Mr. Sutherland to come play over at Bryant? Were you a part of that?
Of course. When I saw Luke's name was in the transfer portal, I definitely was trying to get him to come over to Bryant. Like, that's something that we've always talked about when we were, you know, picking up Division I scholarships in high school, when we were playing travel AAU, New York Jayhawks together. Like, we always thought like how it would be if we were on the same team. And when that opportunity came, I was all over it.
Luke, how good of a recruiter is Chuck?
Chuck was actually the first phone call I got when I entered the portal. Like it was within minutes. He actually was the very first phone call I got, which was funny enough because I mean if you know Charles, you could imagine that phone call. I mean he didn't miss a beat, or he like started with literally was pressing me from the day I entered, and I mean he's a good recruiter. I mean that's potential in that.
So what I mean, I know you guys wanted to play together, but did you ever think that, I mean, you wanted this to happen? There was a thought of it, you know, Chuck, you brought up the New York Jayhawks AAU team and all of that, but did you think that maybe this wasn't going to happen or that there was a slim chance of it? I mean, we saw Luke go to Siena, you know, you went over to Bryant. There was obviously different roads that were being taken. You played at different high schools. Chuck, I'll start with you with this. Did you anticipate that this could be a real thing someday? Or did you kind of maybe at one point accept like, hey, I'm happy for him, he's happy for me, but we're not going to be able to do it?
To start, like when we were in high school, AAU, like that was a realistic thought. Like, you know, if we have the same scholarships, how cool it would be to play on the same team and stuff like that. And then, like you said, it became more of a like he's happy for me, I'm happy for him. That's one of my close friends. He committed to a school that he liked, but once his name was in the transfer portal, that's when the dream came back alive and we knew we could really make it happen.
Luke, was there any thought in your mind that anybody else would be the first phone call when you were in the portal?
Well, like when I entered and that whole process got finished, like I got off the phone with Jay David the guy who runs the Jayhawks. And then while I'm on the phone with Jay, within the first couple of minutes, I get a FaceTime call from Charles, and I knew exactly what that was going to be about. And we answered the phone, and we both looked at each other in the camera. And we just both started laughing like right away.
To have the history that you guys have both had as friends and playing together on AAU, and then knowing it's like to be in a state championship game, to win a state championship game, you have all of these parallels that you bring together. How cool is that to bring that to Bryant, that you know each other, you're well connected, but you also know what it's like to play in high octane situations and win these games. I mean, we're not just talking about two guys from CNY, which would be good enough for me. I mean, this is my hometown too, but we're talking about two champions on the same team. Luke, what does that mean to you that you have that pedigree, and so does Chuck?
I mean, it creates this type of trust, you know what I mean? Like, that we know that we've been in these situations before, and that there's no moment too big for us, and that like we can trust each other to make the play regardless of what that is. And, you know, and at the end of the day, we both work really hard at what we do and try to improve every day. So it's just relying on that and just having trust in one another to do what we have to do.
Chuck, what's that like for you to have that? And I'm going to ask you this: who's got the better state championship team?
West Genesee. 19 team.
I've never lost a playoff game. I'd say Liverpool.
All right, fair enough. Wanting to come back home and beat your hometown team, I'm going to start with you, Chuck. How strange is that you come home to get on the court, but you know your hope is that you beat the team that you probably were rooting for growing up?
I mean, they were definitely a team I was rooting for growing up, you know, watching them a lot when I was growing up. But, you know, you play your friends, you play people you know all the time. That's just part of the game. So I'm just going to treat it like any other game, prepare the same way, you know, execute on the stretch, and hopefully everything will go well.
Luke, beating your hometown, what's that like? What are your thoughts on that?
You know, I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's a scheduled game, and we got to go out there and compete. You know what I mean? We're going out there to get the result we want, and I think that's kind of like the biggest thing. You know, we're not thinking too much about it. It's just a game, you know, and we're gonna go out there, we're gonna compete, and we're gonna do everything that we possibly can to, you know, to make sure that's the result that we want it to be.
Last note, Luke knows about this. Chuck, you get to do it for the first time. It's called Rapid Fire. You guys get to put me on the hot seat and ask one question, because I know we got about a minute or so here. So, Luke, you can ask me anything in the world. I'll flip the script and let you interview for a second here. What do you got?
This is always the one. This is always these are these questions.
I always catch them on this, Chuck. I love it.
If you could watch one movie for the rest of your life, what would that movie be?
Oh man, that's tough. That's really tough. I'd probably say Home Alone, maybe Home Alone, or something with Jim Carrey or Robin Williams in it. I could do that for the rest of my life, probably. All right, Chuck, you've never done this before with me. Rapid fire. Any question in the world. Doesn't have to be sports, could be anything. What do you got?
I'm gonna stick on the sports side.
Okay.
Who do you think had the better state championship team?
I should just pretend I'm frozen.
And you know what to say here. That's all I'm gonna say. You know what to say.
Listen, I support you both. No, listen. I love Ryan Blackwell. I love Fred Kent. I'll tell you this, Charles. I was with Luke and the team because I had built a relationship with West Jenny from a show that we had done and started 4 years ago. So I was with them all the way through, and Fred put his arm around me at the end of it all and told me that it wasn't their state championship, it was our state championship. And Blackwell still hasn't told me that it's my state championship. So if you call him and you make that happen, then you know, we'll talk. But you got to call Black and tell him that he owes me a ring. Can you do that?
I'll see what I can do.
Well, for Charles Pride as well as Luke Sutherland, thank you so much, gentlemen. And I look forward to talking with you guys soon. And God bless, safe travels. And I'll be there for the game. So I hope it all goes well.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.